Hi from London. I am in Kensington. This is supposed to be one of the best places to go charity shopping or thrift shopping here in London because it is a very affluent area. I don't know if we're gonna find anything, but let's go. As you can see, we did a ton in our 3 days in London, so we only had the opportunity to explore 3 charity shops. But let me tell you, there were some beauties to find, like this hand-painted vase. There were so many beautiful vintage and antique pieces, especially the collection of blue and white was impressive. However, I didn't bring a lot home because I knew I was going to Paris after London, and I didn't want to overflow my suitcase too early. Although looking back at all this footage, like that blue and white rabbit, I'm kind of regretting not bringing more things home. Can you spot the brass reindeer in this glass cabinet? I knew bringing such a heavy piece home would not be a good situation in my suitcase. Look at that darling ginger jar. There's another peek at the reindeer. This brass planter pot was so darling with those little tassels. This is only one little thrift shop north of London where we stayed with our friends. I was blown away at the variety of items. And I think because we were shopping outside of the city limits, the prices were way more reasonable. Look at the colorways on these hand-painted little trinket dishes. Swoon. You know I'm such a sucker for blue and white, so seeing all these Delft pieces and Delft lookalikes, it was just so fun to explore. And then look at this beautiful bowl. The slight scallop detail on the rim, so stunning. I didn't have a personal connection to this next find until we were in Paris, and all of the onion soup that we would order came in these darling little lion crocks. I wish I would have grabbed these in London had I known. And this little brass frame, such a perfect opportunity to frame a family vacation photo. Such a great little souvenir. And you can see I kept going back to that glass cabinet. Another little great trinket to bring home. Rather than going to the expensive souvenir shops in London, going to charity shops can be such an affordable way to bring home a little bit of the city that you're visiting. Like this corgi figurine. What a cute little nod to England. I also thought this little vintage woven bag was so cute, but I would want to use it as a crossbody and the strap was too short for my 5'10" frame. But look at that lining. Can you even? After staying with friends in North London for a couple days, we moved into like the heart of London for 3 days on our own. These are the charity shops that were recommended to me, especially here in Kensington. While these shops were stuffed with high-end clothing, they were very much lacking in the home decor department. I didn't even film at Royal Trinity Hospice, but I did do some filming at Farah because we discovered that there is a book cave in the basement and there was a bunch of home decor just waiting to be explored. I definitely did not have the success here that I did in northern London, but there were still some really pretty treasures to discover, like these really dainty teacups, 12 of them for £25, so that would be about $30 US. Not a bad price. And then I thought this wooden bowl was really interesting. Not necessarily my style, but a really cute accent piece. Look at this fancy little tea set. Definitely higher end at 68 pounds. It was 30% off, but still not something that I wanted to bring home. And honestly, a lot of this stuff is similar to what I would find in my local thrift stores, so I just let it be. This is why they call it the book cave. And I'm so glad that there was an opportunity for my 9-year-old son to just go crazy because he is book obsessed. He actually grabbed a bunch of books at the different charity shops we visited and then promptly read all of them while we were gone. And we've already come to the end of our charity shopping adventures in London. Trust me, I would have loved to have done more, but we were traveling as a family and obviously that was way more important. So now that we're home, let me show you what I actually bought and how I styled it. Oh, and make sure you stick around to the end because I'm showing you the cutest and easiest idea for postcards. Of course, I had to bring home that little brass frame. I had the family photo of the 3 of us at Tower Bridge printed at MPix, which, side note, they are exclusively where I print all of my art and photos. Such reasonable prices and such amazing quality. And here's that little British phone booth. I might actually tuck this in Jackson's room at some point, but for now, we just got home and it makes me smile every time I look over and see this little pop of red on our built-in bookshelves. And while those are the only 2 things I bought secondhand in London, I also grabbed these postcards. These little illustrations of London are so beautiful. I remembered I had this really oblong frame that I thrifted maybe 2 years ago and I've never found the perfect piece to put in it, but it's the perfect size for 3 postcards sitting side by side. Because you can see the back of the frame between the postcards, I want to cover that backing in either some leftover wallpaper or some fabric. This wallpaper is peel and stick. It's from our playroom years ago. Always hold on to your wallpaper scraps. There's always little projects that you can come up with to use those pieces. I think this polka dot print might be a little too juvenile for the look I'm going for, but I do have this fabric. I've been holding on to this for years. I got it at like a fabric outlet and I've never used it. And I think this is the perfect time. I just needed to decide, do I want the navy background or the gray? What would you choose? I'm using spray adhesive to attach the fabric to the back of the frame. I love using a spray just because you don't get any kind of marks from the glue. I cut my fabric just a little bigger than the back of the frame, so I'm just trimming off the excess now that they're attached. Honestly, I just made a loop of painter's tape for each postcard to attach it to the fabric. I am just so thrilled with how this turned out. And now it's time to figure out where this beauty is gonna go. This cute little frame I thrifted for $2.99 has been sitting empty on this shelf in our parlor since January 2023. And I think adding it back to this shelf with all of our postcards from London is just perfect. The red double-decker buses in each postcard just complement the wall color in this room so perfectly. And this unique souvenir from our trip cost me under $10 to complete. Stay tuned to see what I bought in Paris, and happy hunting, Secondhand Squad!